Hi, everybody. So, welcome to Wheel Stories, where this is the podcast where mechanics get honest about what's happening to your car. Now, my name is Hazim, and today we're going to be covering about mistakes that start small but that end up costing you a lot. We have Encik Fauzi, the mechanic, Mr. Hafiz, the PLI Tech. Encik Fauzi, how long have you been working as a mechanic?
I've been working 6 to 7 years.
Has that always been something that you're looking into since you were a young kid?
Yeah, I was starting to be a mechanic since I was 9 years old. I'm following my dad. He wants off the mechanic as well.
Why does maintenance matter to you? Because it matters to me because it's going to prevent me from spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
Kan?
exactly.
So, why does maintenance matters to you?
Okay, for me as a mechanic, maintenance matter because every parts of the engine, not just an engine, like every parts of the car, they have a lifespan. So we need to check every mileage. So just to keep your car running on the road.
So, a little bird told me that you are a race mechanic.
Yes, I am.
Would you mind explaining to us what does a race mechanic do?
Okay, as a race mechanic, I usually maintain a race car.
Okay.
Yeah, a race car. I used to work with Prema, as you know, like they are in Formula 4, Formula 3, and Formula 2 car. And now I'm doing a F2 car, but it's not some normal race car. It's like a robotic race car.
Okay.
It's a race car, but the driver will be the robot, AI.
For F2.
Yeah, F2 car in Abu Dhabi.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay. Why do I sign up for that? All right. Can you explain to me what does PLI Tech do?
Okay, so basically what we do was promoting our products.
Okay.
So we handles all of the technical issues, all of the technical inquiries before and after sales of our products.
Okay.
So we cater all of the requirements from our customers. So that's what we do basically. Yeah. So we more to engage to the customers.
Why does maintenance matters to you?
Okay, so for me, because I myself have my own car, so I would like that peace of mind.
Okay.
So that's why maintenance is very important for me. So
Okay.
as a user, you have to well maintain your car, regardless whether it is an engine or even the tire itself. So when you maintain your car, you have a peace of mind of driving on the road itself. So that's why maintenance is very important to me.
Yeah. I can pretty much vouch that most of, our viewers out there, they're not really well versed when it comes to cars. Because I'm speaking on my behalf. So because there are a lot of, it gets really technical, it gets really like, you have to know certain products, what works for your car, what doesn't work for your car. Does like imported cars or local cars come into play juga? Or it doesn't matter?
It does come
It
to
does.
play.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gave a big difference when it comes to like local cars and a continental car. It's a big difference.
There's a big difference lah. Okay. Is it hard or is it difficult to outsource the maintenance parts and like all these like oil and lubricants and whatnot
okay.
for the continental cars?
It depends on which brand the car.
Okay.
But mostly, for like nowadays, it's easier. We can get everything online, so we can sort everything out, like reaching out online to check for the parts or the maintenance thing.
What is the most expensive maintenance mistake that you've probably seen throughout your experience? Because I'm sure, being out in the workshop or maybe your fellow mechanics experience, who are your friends, maybe they've shared it with you or you may have seen yourself. Do tell us more on that. Yeah.
This guy is like a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He likes to, maximize the oil use in his cars, like his gearbox. He always like, it's okay, we can do that later. And until one day, when he tried to drive his car, engage the gear, and everything broken inside.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it cost him like around 5,000 to get a new gearbox because everything's turned to pieces.
Oh my dear. Your perspective could be different lah from Mr. Fauzi, right? So what is the most expensive maintenance mistake that you've seen?
One of the biggest maintenance mistake is neglecting the maintenance of other than the engine oil. For example, like the brake fluid, the transmission fluid, and also the coolant itself. One of the reason is because the oil drain interval or the servicing interval is long. The ratio could be between 2:1, 3:1 against the engine oil itself. For example, like 3 times of engine oil, you need to change the gear oil.
Yeah.
So the duration might be long. So people tend to forget.
I see.
People tend to neglect.
Yep.
So that is one of the biggest mistake. And the second one, I think, in choosing the right lubricants. Like Mr. Fauzi said, Continental car would need different or special treatments of maintenance. So and it also needs some of the major OEMs also needs or requires specific specifications for the lubricants itself.
Okay.
That is the second biggest mistake.
Why do you think people tend to overlook to change the transmission fluid?
Like I mentioned before, the transmission system or transmission fluid itself, the oil drain interval or servicing interval is quite long.
Okay.
So some of the cars might need to be changed between minimum of 20,000 kilometers or maybe can be up to 60,000 kilometers, or some of the OEM might suggest up to 80,000 kilometers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Fauzi.
Yeah.
So people tend to neglect because of these servicing intervals actually.
I see. From a mechanic standpoint, what actually goes into the coolant reservoir? Like, are you supposed to add water into it, or are you not supposed to?
Okay, so for the coolant system, we have like a 50-50% ratio, which is we need 50% of coolant, and then we need 50% of pure water, which is normally mechanic will use a battery water.
Okay.
It's a distilled water. So we don't really use tap water because it will damage your cooling system, which you will get rust.
Have you actually seen your customers, putting water into the coolant reservoir, and what actually happened if they did so? Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people doing that. I think they have the misconception between the tap water and this distilled water.
Okay.
And what happened when we put a tap water inside the cooling system, it will clog your cooling system.
Okay.
Your temperature, your engine temperature will spike,
Ayuh.
and then it will get rust.
It will damage the car from inside, lah, kan?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Throwing it back to you, Encik Hafiz. So as you can see here, we have our PETRONAS lubricant. So you might want to explain to us, the audience, why it is the ultimate choice for car drivers. Yeah.
I agree with Mr. Fauzi just now. So coolant is to transfer heat from the engines to reduce the heat from the engines itself.
Okay.
So it goes throughout the engines and reducing the heat inside the engines. Okay, because of the combustion, obviously. Okay, so another functions is to prevent rust and also corrosion inside the cooling system.
Okay.
And other function is to prevent the cavitation of the seal, especially at the water pump jacket. Okay, so these are the main functions of coolant. Okay, so there's an additives inside coolant which tap water doesn't have. So the first one is the corrosion inhibitors. So this corrosion inhibitors actually prevents corrosion from happening to the critical parts of the coolant system.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, like the aluminium cylinder head and the water jacket, there's the radiator itself.
Okay.
So it prevents these critical parts from becoming corrodes. And there's another additive that lubricates the sealant parts and also prevents the cavitation of the sealant of the water jacket especially, or water pump. So they have a sealant, so it prevents the cavitation. Tap water doesn't have that. Tap water can actually corrodes or promotes the rust or corrosion because tap water has oxygen and also mineral, very high mineral inside it, and it will corrodes the critical parts. And promotes rust and also corrosion. And it will become deposit, and this deposit will actually reduce the heat transfer efficiency. So that's why we're not promoting the tap water to be put inside the cooling system. Yeah.
Okay.
In Petronas, we have these two types of coolant actually. One is concentrated and the other one is premix. So if you don't want to have any trouble in mixing up between distilled water and the coolant itself, you can choose the premix one that is already being mixed up, being mixed between distilled water.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Distilled water and also coolant.
The
It's
premix.
more on the premix one. Yeah.
Okay. Which one is the premix? Can you mind showing us?
Okay. So I think this one is concentrate.
Okay.
So this is the one that you will need to add with distilled water for more or less 50-50.
Yes.
50% of coolant and also 50% of distilled water.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, another part I would like to touch base on would be brake fluids.
Okay.
You know, so how certain drivers, they tend to forget or they just maybe overlook.
Braking system, the brake fluid. Most people, they don't aware that the car using brake fluid.
Okay.
So people will forget about this until one day they will making leaks on the brake and brake failure. So don't ever forget to service or change your brake fluid like every 100,000 kilometers interval. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How would people know about the car ticks, like dot 3, dot 4? Which one that suits most for their car?
Normally, when you open up your hood,
Yeah.
you will see like at the very back of the engine,
Okay.
there's a brake reservoir tank. So on the cap itself, it will say like you need a dot 3 or dot 4. So there's a recommendation on that. So you will need to follow.
This person's car requires a dot 4. However, he accidentally like pour the dot 3 into the reservoir. What would technically happen to the car? Will it damage the car, or it will like halfway run but then rosak in the middle of the road, or?
Okay, so because of the temperature difference, that is one of the main reason why car manufacturer recommends different types of or different specification for different types of cars. When you use dot 3 instead of the recommended dot 4, the brake performance might be reduced. So at times you can see that your brake pads actually can
Corroded.
can get corroded
Yeah.
or exhausted faster,
Okay.
much faster than the previous one, much faster than if you use the right oil or the right fluids. So that is one of the things that can, one of the two things that you can feel or see what happens when you use the lower grade than the recommended one. But if you use the higher one, then it's supposed to be okay lah, because of the boiling point itself.
I see. Generally, in layman's term, can you explain to us what is actually transmission fluid?
It's actually a fluid that to be used in your gearbox on a daily basis.
All right.
Many people are not aware of this transmission fluid because they think when they bought the car, it comes like the transmission fluid can be used for a lifetime, but they don't aware we need to change accordingly to the mileage. So when you don't change, you might end up getting a faulty or damaged transmission.
Mr. Hafiz, is there anything that you would like to add to that in terms of technical aspect?
Transmission fluid is also one of the fluid that people tend to miss.
Yes.
Yeah, because I agree with Mr. Fauzi said, because the servicing interval is a little bit longer than the engine oil itself. And you were saying that people who sells the car does not inform.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't, right?
They don't. They
So
don't.
unless if
they
we
don't.
ask. Unless if you ask.
Uh-uh.
So it's our responsibility actually to ask.
Okay.
So, and it's our responsibility to know which lubricants or which fluids that's coming into our car.
Okay.
So transmission is one of it.
All
So actually the servicing interval is due to the oxidation or the oxidation of the oil.
All
So engine oil will oxidize most of the time because of the friction and also the heat due to the combustion. But there's no heat, there's no combustion. So it's not that there's no heat, there's no combustion inside the transmission system. But the friction that will later convert it into heat is coming from the gear parts and also the clutch part itself. So this will shear the transmission fluid. So it will oxidize the transmission fluid over time. So that's why you need to change the transmission fluid actually. Because when it is oxidized, it can become contaminated. The fluid will not works really well, like Mr. Fauzi said just now. Maybe it will make a sound, or it will maybe clutch slippage is one of them. So
Delay.
the delay of the gear shifting. So those are some of the what do we call as points or some of the things that we will experience when you are not choosing the right oil, or you haven't changed the oil for quite some time. So it is very important to also change the transmission oil.
So basically in transmission there's no combustion.
There's no combustion.
But due to friction lah.
But there's heat due to friction and the movement of the gear and also the clutch itself. So it provides friction, and also this friction will provide heat. It's almost the same like you rub your hands together. So what do you feel?
Heat.
It's because of?
Because of me rubbing my hands together lah, because of the friction.
Because of the friction.
Alright.
So the same thing happens inside your transmission system. So the gear parts will always move when you changing gears or move around, accelerate your cars.
I see. Okay. Now, since we're on the topic of friction, so whenever I arrive at a traffic stop, I would just constantly change my gear to neutral.
It depends on the situation, actually. So when you are on the traffic light, which is more than 3 minutes to 5 minutes, it's okay to put on your neutral. You don't give pressure to your brake and your transmission. But when it's like a quick stop, when you put on a neutral, it will damage your transmission, to be honest.
All right, Mr. Hafiz, anything you would like to add to that?
I think I agree with Mr. Fauzi just now. It depends on the length of time that you are when you're stopping at the traffic light. So, because if it's just a short while, between this 1 or less than 2 minutes, you tend to change your gear to neutral. So the transmission will actually disengage the clutch pack. So there's a friction there. And then when you change to D again, it will engage again the clutch pack, and this is where the friction happen again, and you have to rebuild the pressure, the hydraulic pressure again. So that is what happened inside your transmission system. So actually this is also one of the reason why this also we call as unnecessary additional clutch engagement will actually promotes to wear and tear inside your transmission system, especially on the gear and also the clutch pack. So that is why it is not advisable to change from D to N and then to D again. So just maintain at D, or just press on your brake. That would be good enough actually. And it can actually save you a little bit when you if there's a car bumping from the back, right?
Can
So you
yes.
can slide.
So thank you for walking us through the products. Now I have a genuine question. What if a driver sort of like mixed up, he gets the wrong fluid for his car?
So basically, these types of transmission fluid, especially designed for that particular transmission. So when it especially caters for that for the needs of that transmission. So for example, if manual transmission will have a lot of pressure inside it because of the manual shifting. So and it more or less depends on the riding condition and the driver behavior. So it requires a little bit more the extreme pressure additives. The formulation is different and can cater for that type of transmission. So best thing is to not mix up or not adding between these types of transmission fluids first, and then not mix up between them. If you are using the CVT, use the CVT oil. If you're using ATF, use ATF oil.
Okay.
If you're using manual transmission, use manual transmission oil. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the best advice.
I see. Okay. What would be the biggest takeaway that our audience who are watching right now can take from today's conversation? Like, we can start with Mr. Fauzi.
Okay, my advice to the audience is always to check your car's health. It's not about just engine, transmission, or brake. It takes about every part of your car, just to make sure your car runs smoothly. And when your car is healthy, it will give you peace of mind.
Thank you, Mr. Fauzi, on that. Mr. Hafiz?
So I agree with Mr. Fauzi. It's not only about your engine, it's about something that you don't see. Part of the engine fluid itself. So it's more or less the hidden heroes. For example, like the transmission fluid, the brake fluid, the coolant itself.
Okay.
So there's these terms in lubricants where we usually use right principles, which are the right lubricants. Choose the right lubricants to be filled at the right parts, at the right place.
Okay.
For example, like engine oil to be used at engine parts.
Okay.
And at the right time. That is one of the most important thing, which is the servicing time of the fluid and the right quality of oil.
Okay. All right.
It is basically to maintain your cars.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Wheel Stories. Now, remember, coolant, brake fluid, and transmission fluid are 3 things that are working for you or quietly failing you. And for car drivers, you have to follow your service intervals and do not wait until the warning light comes up. Only then you send your car for inspection. Who's going to answer that? Not us, okay? And always live by these 4 principles. The right place, the right product,
Right time and also right amount.
I can print out on merch already lah by that time. Okay. Jokes aside, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on this valuable session. I hope you guys out there are learning something from watching this podcast. They can always revert to this podcast if they like to find out more on the issues. And I'll be seeing you guys soon on Wheel Stories. Take care. Bye.